Welcome to the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. I'm your host, T. Daniels, wife, mama of two girls, multi-business owner, iced coffee connoisseur, and your official bad bitch mentor. Get ready to transform your boring business into a money-making machine by learning how to just be better at being you. No more playing by the rules. It's time to hone in on your gifts, turn up your energy, and make some serious cash. So grab your coffee, your headphones, or just cover your child's ears and let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. Hello, friends. We are back with episode 4 of our Get Clients series. And this episode is going to be similar to an episode that I recently did about being relatable. So if you go back, I'll have to link which episode it is because I don't remember off the top of my head. But if you go back, I recently talked about someone telling me that my brand is now unrelatable today versus what it used to be. That it used to be a lot more relatable, the images were more relatable, and now it is not as relatable. And so today in this episode, I'm going to talk to you guys about being an authority and then also or versus being relatable. And I think that this is such a controversial topic. And I would say, honestly, this is only a problem in the online space for women. I don't see this being an issue for men. And we're going to break that down today because I don't like it. I don't like it. And I think that it is not actually helpful at all to women in the online space, to women who are in business. And I think that there has been this stigma in society for women that you need to be relatable, that you have to dress a certain way, look a certain way, talk a certain way, act a certain way. But it's always like you're either too much or you're not enough, right? So you're supposed to fall right into this middle category. And I talk quite a bit about that on this podcast and in general, that I think that women are constantly at a disservice, and sometimes even from other women. And this person in particular, I don't think that she meant it in, a hurtful way to women specifically or to me, but those things that were taught or told by society or our upbringing, then sometimes we project onto other people unintentionally, can be really hurtful. And so I think that this conversation, while it is going to be really helpful for you to build your own business and brand and to get sales, I think there's also going to be some layers to you based on your upbringing or whatever it is that you believe that maybe you need to let go of too, which is holding you back from success. It's holding you back from more money. And I'm going to just start with the authority piece. So the authority piece, I think that so many people are so confused by being an authority in the space. And then they take this word and they just create so much drama from this word. Like, I'm not above anybody and I'm not better than anybody. And oh my God, if you guys don't calm the fuck down. I think this goes back again to one of the episodes that I recently did, which is like sometimes the things we do and say aren't that dramatic. Like they don't require such triggeredness. They don't require so much of like, oh my God, what does it mean? Like being an authority in the space does not mean you're better than someone. But at the same time, there are things that you are better at, which is why you are the coach, which is why you are the go-to, the person to hire. And if you weren't better at it than someone else, why would they hire you? Why would they hire you? Why would they pay thousands of dollars to work with you if you don't have something that they don't have, right? It doesn't mean you're literally above someone, like better than them in life, right? It's like you're an authority in your space. You're good at what you're good at, and you need to own that shit and be an authority of that space. And that confidence that you have and that authority that you bring to your space is what people will hire you for, right? So whenever I'm teaching students in any of my rooms, no matter the level, we talk about two things. One is connection to clients and your brand and your business and your story, creating this connection piece, which I think a lot of people think that that connection equals relatable. And we'll get into that in a second. And then the second part of this is value and articulation and how well you can articulate the value of your offer and what you bring to the table in your authority. So Whenever I'm talking about content, freebies, branding, offers, like literally anything in your business, I'm always going back to these two pieces. Does it create connection? Does it create value? And if the answer is no to one or both, then we need to clean that up. And a lot of that comes from you being willing to be an authority, you being willing to take up space in your industry, in your niche, and believing that you actually have something of value for your audience. You have something that changes lives, and you are really, really confident in that area. And then you own it. You own what you're good at, right? And I think for a lot of women, they're afraid to own their shit because then you've gotten this backlash of like, who do you think you are? You think you're better than someone. And then the whole authority, people run with that. Like, it is so exhausting sometimes to be a woman. Let's start there. But to be in the space and everyone is always triggered by something, and it's really, really not that deep, but there is strategy behind why it works. Again, I say this because men are not dealing with this. Like, men are not having these conversations. Nobody is asking men, who do you think you are? You think you're better than someone? You're an authority. Are you relatable? Like, please, we have got to stop doing this to women. It is literally exhausting. But at the exact same time, on the flip side of this is, are you doing this within your business and your brand? Are you standing in your power and your authority? So for me, this rebrand was all about being an authority in the space. It was all about taking up space and being bold and being fierce and not being afraid to look a certain way or dress a certain way or talk a certain way, and showing other women that you have the space to do that too. When you come into my spaces and my rooms and my free containers and you come and get coached by me, you are going to be pushed to be bold and fierce and to stand in your own confidence and your own energy. And also at the exact same time, you will not be too big for anyone in the room or too bold. You can say what you want to say. You can be honest. You can take up space. I actually ask every single woman in my group coaching programs, we have a guide. Whenever you join a program, you get a guide and it tells you how to use the space, and you get a video and onboarding and all this stuff. And I am always telling women, you paid to be here. Take up space. Even if it's a group, I want you to post coaching every day. I want you to ask questions every day. I want you to come to the calls. I want you to take up space. I want you to post in the chat. I want you to ask questions on calls. I want you to take up space. You paid to be here. Own the room. Like, that is what we are here for. Now, obviously, there's respectable ways to do that. And I don't even have to have conversations with these women about being respectful to each other. They just are, right? Of course, we put that in our community guidelines, but we don't even have to worry about it because the women that come in these rooms are being held at this level, and they're holding themselves at this level of taking up space while also respecting others, while also being supportive and collaborative of others. And it is just the most amazing spaces I have ever seen in my whole life. I was not raised where women were supposed to openly and outwardly talk, let alone about money and taboo topics that typically women aren't supposed to own or dominate. While also I was raised where women are in competition and women aren't nice to each other and what have you. And when I came into this space, it was way different for me. Now, have I had issues with women who aren't kind? Yeah. And women that are catty and immature? Absolutely. Like, people are people at the end of the day. But I've had so many amazing, incredible, successful, just respectful, like just incredible women in my spaces that I am just blown away. Like, every season that we enroll students, I'm just like, wow, like, you women are fucking amazing. Like, it's just incredible. And it's the coolest thing to watch is, like, let's say I'm out of office for the day or the afternoon and I come back to Slack the next day and I check in on coaching. There's been like other women that are talking to other women and coaching them and giving them support. And like, it's just nice to know that like you have this group of supportive people. Okay, let's get back on track here. We're a little bit off. So being an authority, that's like that space is being an authority. So with my rebrand, the images were all about being an authority and being fierce, to call in that level of woman who wants to be able to openly express herself and wants to be more confident and more fierce and more bold. She wants to let go of people, how people perceive her and what they think and what they say and what your family thinks and what they say. And then there's this relatable piece, right? So the authority piece is like taking up space, being bold, being fierce, owning your shit, being good at what you're good at. Because the thing is nobody wants to pay you money and thousands of dollars to work with you if you're not confident in your space, if you're not the authority, if you're not better than me If you don't know more than me and you're not going to teach me something and you're not going to help me level up, why would I pay you? Right? Like that is what being an authority is. Like that's where you're standing in your power. It's also where you're showing up as, I have something really valuable for you that I'm going to teach you and push you to this level, right? So that's like the first piece. And then the relatable piece is the connection piece. Now, relatable is such a broad term because it's a perspective, right? Like everyone's perspective of relatable is different. So while me like loving luxury things and trips and bags and like Louis Vuitton bags and YSL bags and all those types of glam and glitz, I just interviewed someone recently and she's a luxury brand designer where for her, that's really relatable. She's like, I love it. She had her Louis Vuitton in the background, whatever. That's relatable to her, but not to others, right? So it's a perspective. Same with being a woman in business, being a breadwinner in business. For some people, that's super relatable, and for others, it isn't. My job here in this space as a coach isn't to quote unquote be relatable in a sense. And I say that to say is because I am here to create connection and I am here to change your life. And if we have some connection pieces and or I'm in my authority and I have value to change your life, you're going to want to work with me. You're like, I love her, I connect with her, I resonate with her. I'm not meaning that you and I are the same. What I'm meaning is I'm creating connection because there's something that you relate to. So the one way that I do this is I share my overall brand story, where I came from. So where I came from, my life, my childhood, the fact that I'm divorced, that I've been through an abusive relationship, that I was a single mom, that I was on WIC, like all of those things could be relatable to some people and then not to others, right? And then there's this other side of me that is the multi-six-figure business owner and that story and how I created that and how I went from agency owner to coach. And like, there's these different connection pieces where people will see themselves in you and what you're doing and say, oh my God, like I feel like she gets it. I feel like this is what I aspire to be. And this is how we take the authority and the connection and we put them together. You are walking, living proof for somebody else. You are walking, living proof of other women out here who want to do or have exactly what it is that you have done, accomplished, or what have you. And instead of saying, I understand because put in your connection pieces, your stories, and also I know how to come out of that, aka with value, share the transformation. This is why I'm the obvious choice to hire. When you can master those two pieces, that is when people will hire you. That is when your brand is something that people look up to and want to follow, and they follow you online and they listen to your episodes and they come to your freebies and they buy your offers because you have mastered those two pieces. But the only way to master those two pieces is once you have cleaned up your business model, you're super clear on your own vision, your own goals. You're clear on your offers and your niche and who you help and the transformation. You're clear on your messaging. You're clear on literally every angle of your business. And once that is cleaned up, then we can put in the pieces of where's your authority? What are you good at? Where are you owning your shit? And where are you creating connection and value? Because just being relatable and motivational keeps you in the friend zone, keeps you where you maybe you even have a lot of DMs, or maybe you even have a lot of likes, or maybe you even have a lot of comments. And it's always about, oh my God, I agree, you're so motivational, but nobody buys from you. They just see you as like a friend that has good advice, right? People don't buy from people who they don't see as an authority. People don't buy from people they see as just motivational, right? Sure, maybe people do buy from motivational speakers, books, whatever, but the reason being is because they have shown some type of authority and connection. And that was why someone bought from them, not from just being motivational and relatable in itself, which is why so many people in this industry come in, they try to be so inspiring and motivational, and you get people to tell you that, but you don't get people that actually buy from you. You get people who sit and watch you because you're fun and it's easy to consume. You don't push people. You don't make people get out of their comfort zone. You just keep people in their safe, comfortable bubble with your motivational talks, and they feel safe and comfortable with you. So they stay and they listen and they watch, but they do not pay you. And so if you want to move out of motivational and inspiring and into getting paid clients, it's going to require you to get out of your comfort zone, own your shit, be an authority, and also stop trying to be relatable. Stop trying to fit in and use your authority and your connection to create buyers. From this episode, I want all of you to go back to your content, to your offers, to your messaging, and I want you to look at, are you being motivational and inspiring? Or are you being an authority in a space? How confident do you feel that you are an authority? When people come across your brand, your socials, your website, whatever you have, do they feel like, wow, she is an authority. She is in her power. She is fierce. I look up to her. I want to be in that room with her. I want to work with her. Or do they think, wow, she's super inspiring and motivational, right? Go back through and actually do an audit of what this looks like. And if you don't know, if you're like, I have no idea, get with a friend. Right? Swap with someone even that you don't know. And ask them, what is your opinion? Am I motivational or am I an authority? And of course, I would love for you to come follow me on Instagram at @itstaydaniels_LLC. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will chat with you on the next episode.